What if I told you that everything you've been searching for, confidence, clarity, control, was never lost, it was just buried? And today, you're going to dig it back up. Your personal power isn't gone. It's waiting for you to reclaim it, starting now. You were never meant to live small. You weren't designed to just survive. You were built to lead, create, and rise. But life can make you forget who you are. If you've been feeling stuck, powerless, or off course, this message is your wake-up call. Here are 6 powerful steps to reclaim your personal power and take back control of your life faster than you think. Number 1, stop negotiating with your key. The single biggest drain on your personal power isn't a lack of talent, time, or opportunity. It's the constant negotiation with your self-worth. Every time you shrink yourself to avoid judgment, every time you say yes when your soul screams no, every time you play small in rooms where you should stand tall, you are giving away pieces of your power. This is how we lose ourselves. Not in one big moment, but in 100 quiet decisions where we betray our own value. You were not born unsure. You didn't come into this world with doubt. That was learned. And anything learned can be unlearned. Here's the truth. Your worth is not a debate. It's a decision. The most powerful people are the ones who stop negotiating it. Stop asking others to approve of your ideas before you take action. Stop waiting for someone to invite you to the table. Build your own. You don't need applause to be valid. You don't need to be chosen to be. The moment you decide that your voice matters, your presence matters, and your life matters, you stop chasing power and start embodying it. Ask yourself, where am I settling? Where am I shrinking? Where am I still waiting for permission? These are the places where you've traded authenticity for approval, and it's costing you more than you think. Power leaks through the cracks of low self-respect. To reclaim it, you must raise your internal standard. This is not about arrogance, it's about alignment. When you start showing up for yourself with the same loyalty, respect, and belief that you so easily give to others, your energy begins to shift. Your body language changes. Your tone changes. Your life starts reflecting a deeper truth. I am enough as I am, and I don't need to shrink to belong. Stop apologizing for who you are. Stop diluting your dreams to make them digestible for people who haven't done the work to understand you. Real power isn't loud, it's rooted. It doesn't seek validation. It stands firm in conviction. Reclaiming your personal power means remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. It's the decision to show up fully, unapologetically, and consistently as your whole self. No editing, no dimming. You teach the world how to treat you by how you treat yourself. So speak kindly to yourself. Move with intention. Honor your boundaries. Celebrate your wins. That's how you stop negotiating your worth. And when you do, the world will rise to meet the standard you set. Never forget, power doesn't start outside of you. It begins the moment you stop asking, am I enough? And start declaring, I am. Number 2, build discipline like a muscle. If you want to reclaim your personal power, you must first reclaim your ability to follow through. Discipline isn't about being harsh or rigid. It's about honoring your word to yourself. It's the daily act of proving to yourself that you can be trusted, even when motivation runs out. Think of discipline like a muscle. Nobody walks into the gym on day 1 lifting heavy. It starts small, controlled reps, consistent effort, and over time, your strength builds. The same principle applies to your life. Every time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, you strengthen your identity as someone who takes action. That's the real power, identity. Because when you believe you're someone who finishes what they start, you stop relying on bursts of motivation to push you. Instead, you move with quiet consistency. And consistency, not intensity, is what transforms lives. Most people wait to feel ready before they act, but that's backwards. Readiness is the reward of action, not the requirement for it. When you start moving, clarity comes. When you keep moving, confidence grows. The habit of action rewires your brain to trust you, and trust in yourself is the ultimate power. Start small. 1 habit, 1 promise, 1 shift. Get up when you said you would. Write for 10 minutes. Walk for 20. Eat 1 clean meal. It's not about perfection, it's about momentum. Each small act of discipline is a deposit in your power account. Here's what most people miss. Discipline isn't about controlling your entire life. It's about mastering small decisions that add up to a big identity. James Clear said it best. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. So cast your votes wisely and keep voting, even on the hard day. There will be moments when the bed feels better than the gym, when Netflix seems easier than working on your goals, when scrolling feels safer than starting. In those moments, remember this: every time you choose discomfort in the name of growth, you reclaim a piece of your power. Discipline builds self-respect. You start looking in the mirror differently. You walk taller. You speak with conviction. Because you're no longer waiting for life to happen, you're creating it. It's not the loud, dramatic decisions that shape your destiny. It's the quiet, repeated ones. The alarm you don't snooze. The junk food you don't reach for. The task you don't delay. These small wins add up to massive results, and they restore your power from the inside out. So stop asking how you can stay motivated, and start asking, what's the smallest action I can take today to prove to myself that I am in control? That's where your power lives, in the follow-through. Discipline isn't punishment, it's self-respect in action. And the more you honor your word, the more unstoppable you become. Number 3, take radical ownership. If you want to move fast and reclaim your personal power, there's one decision you must make today. Take radical ownership of your life. Not partial ownership, not convenient ownership. Radical ownership. This means you stop waiting for someone to fix it. You stop blaming your past, your parents, your job, or your circumstances. It's not about fault. It's about response. Life is going to hand you setbacks, heartbreaks, and injustice. But power begins when you say, even if it's not my fault, it's still my responsibility. Why? Because the moment you take ownership, you stop being a victim and start becoming the author. You go from why is this happening to me to what can I do with it? You reclaim the pen and the plot of your own story. Most people never take radical ownership because it's uncomfortable. It's much easier to point fingers. It's easier to say, they didn't support me, or life isn't fair. And maybe it's true, maybe you were wrong, but staying in that mindset keeps you stuck. Ownership is not about dismissing your pain, it's about deciding that your pain will not have the final say. When you take full ownership, you stop waiting for the right time, waiting for people to change, waiting for the apology you never got. Waiting keeps you powerless. Action gives you control. It puts the keys back in your hand. Think about it. No great leader, athlete, or visionary ever built success by blaming others. They all took ownership, even when it was hard, even when it hurt, because ownership is the foundation of freedom. You cannot change what you don't claim. When you own your part, you take back the power to rewrite it. Here's how you practice it. You missed a deadline? Own it. You snapped at someone you love? Own it. You're not where you want to be in life? Own that too. Then ask, what now? What can I learn? What can I do better next time? This mindset shift is massive. You stop being controlled by the past and start being fueled by the future. Ownership leads to action. Action leads to progress. And progress leads to momentum. That momentum is where your confidence, clarity, and personal power start coming alive again. This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about building yourself up. You don't reclaim your power through perfection. You reclaim it through responsibility. Through the willingness to say, this is my life. I will no longer hand it over to excuses, blame, or waiting. So take the wheel. Lead your own process. Own your mistakes, your growth, your wins, your future. Remember, when you take radical ownership, you stop being a passenger and you become the driver of your destiny. That's power, and it's been yours all along. Number 4, cut the noise and listen to yourself again. We live in a world that screams at us from every direction. Social media, news feeds, opinions, expectations, algorithms, noise is everywhere. And in the middle of all that noise, it's easy to forget the most important voice of all, your own. You cannot reclaim your personal power until you cut the noise and start listening to the wisdom inside you again. Because power doesn't come from being louder, it comes from being clearer, and clarity is born in silence. Think about this. How many of your decisions are based on what you truly want versus what the world told you you should want? Did you choose your path, or did you inherit it? Are you pursuing your own dream, or trying to meet someone else's expectation? The truth is, When you're constantly tuned into the voices of others, you lose touch with your own intuition. You stop trusting your gut. You get stuck in analysis paralysis, overthinking every move. That's not power. That's noise-induced confusion, and it's time to change that. Cutting the noise isn't just about turning off your phone. It's about learning to value solitude. Because in solitude, you reconnect with the deepest parts of yourself. You remember what matters. You hear the whisper beneath the world shouting. Make stillness a non-negotiable in your day. 10 minutes of silence, a walk without headphones, a quiet journaling session in the morning, prayer, reflection, whatever brings you back to you. Do it consistently, because in that space, you begin to notice your patterns. You begin to recognize the truth underneath your distraction. Stillness doesn't slow you down. It aligns you. And alignment is what creates speed without chaos. When you know who you are and what you stand for, you stop chasing validation. You stop needing constant feedback. You become internally anchored. And that's when your personal power returns, quiet, unshakable, and strong. Here's the beautiful part. The answers you're searching for are already inside you. You don't need another opinion. You need permission to trust yourself again, to believe that your voice matters, to follow your inner compass, even if no one else understands the direction. When you cut the noise, your decisions become simpler. You no longer chase trends, you create them. You no longer feel lost in comparison. You focus on your own lane. You no longer need to prove yourself. You just show up as yourself, fully, honestly, and powerfully. So ask yourself right now, what noise do I need to turn down? Whose voice have I been listening to more than my own? What's my inner voice been trying to tell me all along? Your clarity is not out there. It's in you. You just have to clear enough space to hear it. And when you do, you'll realize something powerful. You were never truly lost. You were just buried under the noise. Now it's time to rise and listen. Number 5. Protect your energy. Your energy is your most valuable currency, more than time, more than money. Because without the right energy, even the best opportunities will slip through your fingers. If you truly want to reclaim your personal power, you must learn to protect your energy like it's gold. Because it is. Think of your energy like a bank account. Every conversation, every task, every person in your life is either making a deposit or making a withdrawal. And if you're not careful, you'll wake up one day emotionally bankrupt, drained, distracted, and disconnected from your goals. Here's the hard truth. Not everyone and not everything deserves your access. Just because someone is loud in your life doesn't mean they deserve your time. Just because a task is urgent doesn't mean it's important. You have to start being ruthless, not with your heart, but with your focus. Because what you focus on, you feed, and what you feed grows. The people you surround yourself with are either fueling your power or draining it. Start paying attention. After a conversation with someone, do you feel lighter or heavier, more clear or more confused, motivated or miserable? Your body knows before your brain does. Listen to it. And it's not just people, it's habits. Scrolling for hours, complaining, overcommitting, saying yes out of guilt. All of these are energy leaks. And if you want to move fast and powerfully in life, you need to start patching those leaks. Your peace is too expensive to give away for free. One of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is to set clear, unapologetic boundaries. Not to push people away, but to keep your mission intact. Say no without guilt. Walk away without closure. Rest without earning it. Boundaries aren't walls, they're filters. They let the right things in and keep the wrong things out. This also means protecting your internal energy, your thoughts, beliefs, and self-talk. Because sometimes, it's not the world draining you, it's you. It's the way you speak to yourself, the way you carry guilt for things you've already healed from, the way you replay old failures, like they define your future. That has to stop. Your inner world must become a safe place again. Fill it with truth, with hope, with belief, with discipline. Feed your spirit, like you feed your goals, with consistency, with purpose, and with care. Here's the key. When your energy is protected, your clarity increases, your decisions sharpen, your presence deepens, and your results multiply. Because now you're not being pulled in 100 directions, you're moving with aligned, focused, and intentional power. So ask yourself, what drains me? What fills me? What or who no longer belongs in my energy space? Make the changes, set the boundaries, reclaim the goal.
Because your energy is the engine of your power, and when it's fully charged, there's nothing you can't do. Number 6, move before you feel ready. If there's one belief that silently robs people of their power, it's this: I'll start when I'm ready. That sentence has delayed more dreams, stalled more progress, and silenced more greatness than fear ever could. Here's the truth: you're never gonna feel fully ready, and that's okay. Move anyway. Reclaiming your personal power means choosing action over perfection. It means trusting that clarity and confidence are built through movement, not prerequisites for it. You don't wait for the stars to align, you align yourself with your goal and start taking steps in its direction. Think about it. Were you fully ready for your first job, your first speech, your first challenge that tested everything in you? Probably not, but you did it anyway, and that is where growth was born. Your power is found in motion, not in hesitation. Too many people are paralyzed by the illusion of readiness. They believe they need more information, more preparation, more approval, but what they really need is courage. Courage to be seen starting, courage to stumble forward, courage to take the leap, even when the landing isn't guaranteed. The most powerful people you admire didn't wait until they felt 100% confident. They began with what they had, they learned as they went, they adjusted along the way. The difference is, they moved, and in that movement, they became. It's not the size of the step, it's the act of stepping that changes your life. Write the first sentence of the book, record the first podcast episode, post your idea, send the message, apply for the opportunity. Start now, because waiting won't make you more capable, it'll only make you more doubtful. Here's what happens when you move before you feel ready. You start building real momentum. You shift your identity from a thinker to a doer. You gain experience, not just knowledge. You prove to yourself that fear doesn't get the final word. Every small act of action sends a message to your brain. I am capable. I am moving forward. I am in control. That's what builds personal power, not passive planning, but purposeful progress. And yes, you'll feel fear. That's normal. Fear doesn't mean stop. It means pay attention. Let fear ride in the car, but don't let it take the wheel. Power means doing it anyway, even with your heart racing and your hands shaking. So the next time you catch yourself saying, I'm not ready, replace it with I may not feel ready, but I'm doing it anyway. Let that become your mantra, because power doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who Your future self is already out there, stronger, bolder, wiser, cheering you on, but you'll never meet them if you keep standing still. So move. Move scared, move unsure, move messy, just move. That's the fastest way to step into your power, not by feeling ready, but by becoming ready through action.